So back in college, I used to have this friend, Johnny, and Johnny's a great guy, and one of the things that makes Johnny great is one of his good friends was Dain, a childhood friend.
We met at a video game release party for Smash Brothers Brawl, which was a lot of fun.
We used to play Smash for Shots back in college, where you'd take a shot out of a Dixie cup of wine for every time you died.
And about halfway through a box of wine, we decided to show each other our portfolios. And I liked his work, he liked mine. We decided that we should work together in the future. Fast forward to a few months down the road.
I call up Dan, I'm like, hey, I kind of just quit my job. You want to start a company?
Which had been really funny because about 3 or 4 days earlier, I had just put in the paperwork to get a company started.
Our first office was a sardine can that we worked out of and kind of smelled like one after we'd been in there for a couple hours. We didn't have any air conditioning or heating then. We used space heaters, which worked really well. In fact, it worked really way too well. Our next office was 160 square feet, where we had 3 people kind of jammed in for months and months at a time, and that was just absolutely atrocious.
A few months ago, we had finally outgrown our first office, and we moved into this spot here at 3rd and Chestnut. We actually fought the previous occupants of this office to the death in traditional battle, and that's one of the reasons our rent is so cheap, and one of the reasons that we only have 3. We used to have 10 people, but we unfortunately lost 7 of them in that unfortunate battle. But I think we're doing all right now. We're starting to build up the ranks again.
So as an interactive company, we really need to have a portfolio or a key client. And in our private work, we had key clients. We had clients like Comcast and Disney, and we had these big names behind us. But as a company, we had nothing. So we decided we were going to make a digital business card. And this digital business card was really going to show you who we are or what we could do. We thought, what better way to do anything than make a game, because you never get the chance to make a game ever, and it's the coolest thing ever. So let's make a game, because that's the childhood dream, right? Make a video game.
It was supposed to be a small project, take about 2 weeks, be a little thing on top of the website. 2 weeks turned into 8 months.
We go ahead, we try to make this game, we really want to blow things up. We never get past the blowing up thing. We just decide that blowing things up is really, really cool. And eventually we realized that we didn't even need to blow things up, that just light on a screen was pretty fascinating. And so we came up with this idea of pairing light with audio, with little audio containers where you bend beams of light around, which eventually became Auditorium, which is one of our hit games to this day, which is now multi-platform on iPhone, iPad. It's very experimental. You're really trying things out for yourself. You're figuring out exactly what you can do and how to do it. So the best way to really approach the game is from a childlike mentality. The only instructions we ever have are very in the beginning, where it says click anywhere to begin, because maybe you don't figure that out. So the only controls you have in this game are these little controls, and they're designated by icons, and the icon tells you what it does. This one points up, so it bends the stream up. Now, as well as just placing and dragging them, you can also change the radius they affect. So in this example, all I need to do is fill that up there. So I put it right here, but you'll notice it's not really quite making it. I hear a little bit of audio, but it's not enough. It's just not filling all the way. So I pull it a little bit, and suddenly it's alive.
This little game ended up becoming our main focus, and we had so much more fun making that than doing work for other people. We found a lot more success doing that, a lot more fulfillment, and developed a pretty loyal following that's stuck with us this day. And they're the ones that allow us to sort of follow this childhood dream of making video games and actually be able to pay our rent doing it.